Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning and happy Wednesday to you. I was coming on and I realized that my microphone was off, and that's not going to help on today's show. So, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Project Joy Live, your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern time hour. I was solo on Monday's show, solo today. I enjoy being with you every now and then to talk about topics that are super important to me in my life and that help me be the joy, and tap into that joy that lives within me. And in return, what I hope is that it helps you to tap into the joy within you as well. So today on the show, we're going to talk about what it really means to show up. Why this topic? Because later on this afternoon, I'm very excited that at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be co-hosting a workshop called Know Before You Build, a real talk workshop on community and leadership with my good friend Jamie Rich, who was on the show fairly recently, and we were talking about leadership and community and all of that. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do this workshop is because in the world that I'm in of producing and hosting talk shows, um, now, a lot of people will call what we do here a podcast, but I will fight that to the death. Okay. I will fight it to the death because there's so much that goes on behind the visuals and all of these other things with a talk show that doesn't necessarily happen with a podcast. And so I will digress on that for the moment. However, when I first came into this space and was doing talk shows in addition to some podcasting, a lot of the narrative that I started to hear from coaches and business people and all of that was you need to have a podcast. And I used to really fight back on that, and I still do to this day, because I don't agree. I don't agree that everyone should have a podcast, nor do I agree that everyone should have a talk show. And the reason why, some of it ties into joy. You shouldn't feel like you need to do something that someone else tells you that you have to do just because it's going to make you successful. Right? Like, you really should feel the joy if you're going to take on any given project. And so I tell people all the time, if someone tells you you need XYZ in order to be successful in your life and in your business, run, because you don't need to do anything unless you're really feeling it. But I'll even digress on that. But that was what I used to hear about podcasting. And then as we started to expand and nurture and create the community that is attached to the Breakthrough Show Network, I started to hear that a lot from people. You need a community. You need a Facebook group. You need all of these things. But my question goes back to why? Why do you need one? Why are you telling people that they need one? Again, I say run. But if it's something that you're really considering, I ask you to ask yourself, what is your reason for wanting to create a community? So Jamie Rich and I this afternoon are going to be sharing our years of lessons of creating, nurturing, and leading communities that actually work. We're going to talk about why you should pause before assuming you need to create a community of your own, how your natural leadership style determines what kind of community you can sustain. So there's so many of these little micro questions that come around creating and nurturing a community that we're going to present today. We're going to talk about the difference between a community journey and a customer journey. So this is really interesting because in sales, a lot of times we talk about the journey that a customer takes, right? But we're going to talk about a community journey and what that looks like today, and how to recognize whether you should build a community or perhaps just join one. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation with Jamie. I'm going to stick this QR code, boop, just like that, up there in the left-hand corner of the screen where you can register for the event coming up this afternoon. It's completely free. You can come and join us. There's going to be a little surprise at the end as well. There's no sales. This is just me and Jamie being passionate about what we're talking about. That's it. And so we're excited to chat with everybody this afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. In the Breakthrough Show Network virtual community. So there's the link. I put it in the chat. If you don't see it, you can scan the QR code and all that fun stuff as well. So preceding that, this morning, this is why we're going to talk about what it really means to show up. So if you haven't created a community of your own, or if you have but you're a part of other communities as well, what does it mean to actually show up and the joy that we can find in that? So we're going to talk about that this morning in a few minutes. Let me know where you're joining from and what is bringing you joy in your life today. I just saw something really amazing. So I have a lot of joy in this morning. Today is day 500 in our virtual gym, which you can find at the breakthroughshownetwork.club. And this virtual gym we created, I really wanted accountability, but I'm not always able to get to an actual gym. I don't always like to be around sweaty, grunting people at a gym either. And sometimes, and I've shared about this in my own health journey before, sometimes I need to still have that accountability, but not necessarily be on a treadmill or, taking a class or something like that. Sometimes it just looks like checking in and stretching and all of that fun stuff. And so today marks 500 days since we began this virtual community. And I'm so excited because I think collectively, a lot of the people that come regularly, we've lost like well over 150 pounds collectively. We've had blood pressure decrease. We have had accountability where we haven't had it before. And so it's really been amazing. Now, what I love about this community is that we do have community fitness hour, which happens, well, I say hour, but most of us don't stay the full hour. But 7:15 a.m. Eastern time, we get rolling. We check in a little bit before that, usually to, say, hey, what are we doing? How can we hold each other accountable? All that fun stuff. 7:15 a.m. Eastern time every day, we have this like sort of designated space. However, that being said, the gym is open 24/7, 365. So you could come and go whenever it works out for you and your schedule. I know 7:15 a.m. is ridiculous o'clock on Pacific time, and it's middle of the day for our friends across the pond and all of that. So all of that being said, I need to get a lozenge here while I'm talking to you guys. So it's very exciting. 500 days today. In all of this, occasionally, Teresa, who comes to the gym often, and I will talk about some nostalgic fitness icons, if you will. You guys remember Billy Blank's Tybo, and of course Richard Simmons, the incredible Richard Simmons. And then another one that I mentioned fairly recently is Susan Powter. Now, the image that I have in my head, you guys, is Susan Powter in a leotard walking across the stage talking about her own weight loss journey. And she stops and she bends over and puts her head between her legs. And she goes, they're talking about the moment that she realized that she had been like on a good path and losing weight. And she goes, my thighs don't rub together anymore. And this is the scene that lives rent free in my head forever and ever. And she used to say, stop the insanity, right? So we've been talking about this fairly recently, and this morning I see that Susan Powter was on, I think it was the Today Show, and there's a new documentary coming out about her life that is produced by Jamie Lee and hosted by, I think, Jamie Lee Curtis. And do you know what Susan Powter does now? She drives for Uber Eats in Vegas. And it's literally this little interview. You can look it up on YouTube. So good. Um, where she talks about sort of her fall from fame, if you will, the mistakes that she feels like she made, how different things are now compared to what they were then. To be what does it look like to be a fitness influencer these days? And so it was just fascinating and inspiring. And she recognizes there's so much, you could tell she has so much self-awareness about, who she is and how far she's come, and all of these things, and what her strengths are as a human being. And so it really was fascinating to me. I watched the interview just before I came on the show this morning. It's fairly short, but definitely go and check it out, because if you remember Susan Powter and all of the, some of the fitness influencers from back in the 80s and 90s, it'll give you a nice little throwback there. But it brought me a lot of joy to see that even though she's not where she was, that she's well. And she's, like I said, had been on such a journey and had so much self-awareness and all of these things. So I'm excited to see the documentary when it comes out, because I think it's a great lesson. There's a lot of lessons that will be had for the people. So excited about that. And what else is bringing me joy today? I'm also in joy because Leah's going to be on the show on Friday. She's my youngest, and she wanted so bad. I said, "What do you want to talk about on Friday?" She said, "I want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's." And I'm like, okay. It's a game that, a scary movie. And I finally sat down and watched it to get ready to do the show on Friday with her. She's very excited. She's been excited and planning all week. And so I'm excited to have her on the show on Friday. All of that being said, Ollie's here this morning. Good morning, Ollie. Good to see you today. Check in. Let us know where you're joining from. What is bringing you incredible joy today? And we're going to take a super quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about our topic today of what it really means to show up. And we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Margine Dugas. I co-host on Project Joy, and I would say what I'm most thankful for is my friends and family and being on the show.
This year, I am thankful for the lessons that have shaped me, the people who remind me of love, and the creative energy that flows through my everyday life.
I am Olivia Bunny, and this year I'm most thankful for the gift of life and music. This year, music has gotten me through so much, and it's just really shown me how important it is to be present. So that's what I'm thankful for this year.
I'm so grateful for all the people I've met through our show, my co-hosts who I find as my dear family, and the Breakthrough Show Network hosts and co-hosts, and Jessica Dugas, who makes it all possible.
My name is Leah. I'm a co-host on Project Joy, and I'm grateful for my family and joy this year.
And this year, I am most grateful for other human beings who allow me to be fully me.
For the amazing people that I'm surrounded with. I'm so thankful for the accountability, the people that show up even when it's challenging or not convenient, and the love that we share together. You know what brings me joy, everybody? That video. On behalf of everyone at the Breakthrough Show Network, we're wishing you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your colleagues, an amazing, joyful, loving, peaceful, healthy holiday season coming up. Those are some of the hosts here on the Breakthrough Show Network, and it always cracks me up when Leah comes up on the screen, because she was horsing around the whole time that we were going to record that video, and her little giggles just bring me so much joy, and I hope it does you too. We're talking about today what it really means to show up. And as I said, I've got the QR code in the top left corner of the screen here today where you can register. And I'm going to put it in the chat one more time for you guys coming up this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be leading a workshop with my friend Jamie Rich called Know Before You Build, a real talk workshop on community and leadership. You better bring a pen and pencil if you come to that workshop today. It's free to come, okay? But I have so many reflection questions for you. Jamie Rich and I both have so many reflection questions for you. You are really going to get to dig in and figure it out, what it means for you to build a community. If you should, it's all going to be up to you, but there's lots of questions coming. So get ready, go register for that workshop this afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, okay? But part of this conversation that we're going to be having is about the possibility, once you explore what community means to you, it's about exploring the possibility that perhaps building a community isn't necessarily what is the right choice for you and your journey and where you're at this time. Perhaps it's being all in someone else's community, depending on what you discover in the questions during the workshop today. So I wanted to talk about that today. What does it really mean to show up in a community? What does it really mean to be all in to a community? And I'm gonna spoiler alert the entire thing right now when I tell you that the answer to this question is different for each and every person. It truly is. The answer to this question is different for each and every person. Okay? Why? Because we all have different priorities. We all have a different definition of what showing up means, what community means to us. So even that is some of what we're going to explore during the workshop today. And I think where, like so much that we talk about in the world of joy, in the world of our relationships with other people, in the world of communication, so much of it goes back to a sort of willingness to communicate, effectively express ourselves with the other people that we are in community with. It's really important. And so here's let's break this down a little bit. What does it mean to show up? So the first thing I would say is to define what showing up can look like for you. What does it mean for you to show up physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, right? And look at the communities that you're a part of. Is there an expectation of what showing up looks like for yourself? And is there an expectation of what showing up looks like from the community? Is there an expectation of what showing up looks like from the leadership within that community? And put all of those expectations next to each other. Now, we've talked about this before. So many people will say, well, you shouldn't have expectations. I disagree, because as part of humanity, there's a difference between an expectation that is rigid and like runs your life, and expectations to help lead and guide you. Right? So I'm talking about the leading and guiding expectations. So putting those things together, the expectations of yourself, the community, the leadership within the community, even the other people within the community, put those expectations next to each other and do a little comparison. Is there alignment there? Because that's when rifts happen within communities, I feel like, is when your idea of what showing up looks different than the community, the leadership within the community, and even the other people within the community. Right? So define what showing up looks like to you. If you're already involved in a community and maybe you've put those expectations next to each other and go, these don't really align. Well, then we have evaluation that needs to happen. You can choose to stay a part of the community and maybe start to have those conversations with the leadership and say, it's funny, I've been part of this community for a while, and this is what showing up looks like to me. This is what I see. How can we maybe make these things mesh? Part 2, differentiate between being present and being engaged. Okay, I have to get my bell. For this one. All right, because I already know something good is coming. There is a big difference between being present and being engaged. There it is. All right. You can be in a room with people, but that doesn't mean that you are there and truly engaged and participating, right? You can come to a show and comment in the chat, "Hi, good morning." And you could be there and you could be doing other things, which is fine. We all do it. But then what if somebody says to you, "Hey, what was your favorite part of the show?" If you're not really engaged and fully present and participating, you're not going to even know how to answer that question. Right? And so there's a difference in just being somewhere, being a part of a community, and truly being engaged in a community. So examples might be just attending an event in a community and actually contributing ideas. Lurking in a group versus encouraging others. Saying that you care versus acting on that care. In a community, instead of going, how can I, let me know if you need anything, right? Just going ahead and being the hands and feet, right? So what does showing up look like in your life right now? And where do you feel called to show up more fully? So the second thing I want to talk about is about participation in general. Participation is a choice, and therefore participation is love. Because participation isn't just an obligation, all right? You're choosing to participate. When we engage intentionally, we're saying, I care enough to be here with you in this, right? Participation within a community builds safety, it builds connection, and it builds trust in community. If you're coming into a community space and just sitting there and not saying anything, now it doesn't mean that there aren't times when there's challenges, right? Soul Saturday morning coffee. Sometimes people just there's those moments where you need to just have a day where you're quiet and you just partake, you just listen. I'm not talking about those one-off moments. I'm talking about the everyday, the routine, right? If every single day you are showing up to events within a community and sitting there and saying nothing and not contributing, not even saying hello, whatever the situation is, it doesn't help the community as a whole to build safety, connection, and trust, which is so important within a community. And so to lean in on what I was saying about those one-off times, to be all in doesn't mean being perfect, right? It just means being present and engaged, however that looks for you, and communicating that. Again, looking at, the expectations within yourself, the community, the leadership, the others within the community. So some things to think about when we think about the participation aspect. How do you feel when people show up fully for you? because that question right there it's mind blowing if you think about that on a larger scale where a community is concerned. Let's just say you have a small community of 10 people. How does it feel when all 10 of those people show up in a room prepared to show up fully? Right? Fully in their own way. Okay? How amazing. I mean, the buzz, the energy grows in a space when everybody shows up that way. And if one or two people of those 10 are having a rough time, that buzz and energy of the rest of the room continues, and it helps, it envelops the person, right? It creates such a beautiful warmth to hold the person when they might be having a challenging time. And then think about, what message does your participation send to those people around you in the community? The third thing that I want to talk about is about obstacles that we have in showing up fully in community. Because some of these things I have said to myself before. So that's why I'm going to bring them up. We have self-doubt that creeps in sometimes. I have nothing to offer anybody today. Soul Saturday Morning Coffee. This is our 9th year. Next year, I cannot believe it. We're a couple months away from Soul Saturday Morning Coffee being around and existing for 10 years. 10 years. And a lot of times I pose a question to the group, and sometimes people don't feel like they have anything to offer. They have self-doubt creep in. And sometimes it's not about needing to give something tangible other than your presence. The purpose of Soul Saturday Morning Coffee is to share our life experiences together. Now, occasionally someone will come in and they will feel this, I have to offer something. And this is the best way I can describe it, because I've felt this in spaces too. They feel like I have to offer something here. And so they go into a mic drop, pass the collection plate preacher moment. Right? And it's not to say that there is not value in that. Right? We all need those moments where we go, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. Pass the collection plate, please, and thank you. Right? But when we just bring it down a notch, right? And go, we're just here to share our personal experiences. We don't need a TED Talk. We don't need a sermon. We don't need a collection plate. We just are offering of ourselves, like our own thoughts, opinions, life experiences, right? Then that takes there's no need for self-doubt, because everybody's sharing in that. The offering is yourself in a community. This is a big one. Overwhelm. I'm too busy, tired, stretched. I have too much going on to be part of this community. You know what irks me? Can I have a pedestal moment really quickly here? Can I have a soapbox moment, please and thank you? Okay. My high school class has not had an official reunion. My high school class has not had an official reunion. And it upsets me, because I see all these other classes having even the classes that graduated after us have had reunions. Okay. Our class has not had a reunion. And it makes me so sad. And I hear from people all the time, well, I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. I'm tired. I'm stretched. I'm going to give you my biggest pet peeve on the planet is when people say they don't have enough time, or they're too busy, or the real answer to that is, I cannot prioritize this right now. I will not prioritize this right now, is what it is. It has nothing to do with time, nothing, anything else. And there's no guilt to be had here. Okay, because I have gone through seasons when I have felt like, oh, I just don't have time for that. But the truth of it is I am not willing to prioritize this in that moment. Even times when my health is having a challenge. This is a prime real life moment example. Okay. I was supposed to be going to New York City on December 11th to go hug my Trista, who I see in the audience this morning, and my Scott Mason. And I had a list of people that I was supposed to hug and participate in life with. Okay. And over the last couple of weeks, I've had a flare of symptoms, which has made it really challenging for me to do a lot of movement. Okay. So the idea of getting on a train in the moment, while I'm dealing with some of these movement type symptoms is not a good thing for me right now. And so I could sit here and I could go, well, I don't have time to go, or I don't, have time to whatever. But it's that even in this, like I said, there's no guilt or shame to be had. I am not willing to prioritize going to meet up, taking the train, going to meet up in New York City over my health at this time. My health has to be prioritized first, and that's okay. Does it make me incredibly sad? Absolutely. I had a whole sob fest for a good couple of hours over this when I had to change my plans and make the decision. Okay. But all it means is that we are in this world where we feel overwhelmed by all the things that we have thrown at us, all the options, all the possibilities, all the communities, all the connections, all the things. And so it's easy for us to make up the excuse, so I'm too busy. It's not that you're too busy. You just need to prioritize other things. And it's okay. It's okay to say, I need to prioritize my family right now. I need to prioritize my work right now. I need to prioritize my health right now. I need to prioritize my rest right now. Okay. I need to prioritize my rest. So feeling overwhelmed is something that can stop us from showing up. Number 3, past wounds. I've been burned before in community. I don't want to be a part of a community. And I'm here for this one. Okay. This is one that, I will admit that there are times that stop me from being fully all in a community I'm a part of because of things that I've gone through before. And really what it comes down to, and what I've had to evaluate for myself, is that it's unfair to hold people to a certain standard that haven't hurt you because other people have. Right. And we wouldn't want, I just speak for myself. I certainly wouldn't want people to stay away from me or my community because others have hurt them before. So past wounds can stop us from showing up fully in community. And then for the cynics in the room, we get the what's the point? We're supposed to love ourselves. We're supposed to appreciate and value ourselves. We don't need other people. I cannot tell you how many times in the spiritual development community I hear, well, the real work is within. There is not a fiber of my being that can believe that we are put on a planet with this many people if we are not intended to be a part of community. That we're not intended to be connected with other people. I can't. So I can't relate to the cynicism part, but I do know that is a thing for people. They think, what's the point of showing up? Okay. Ultimately, showing up isn't about being everything to everyone. It's about bringing your full, honest self to the spaces that matter. So, something to think about: what gets in your way of showing up? And how can you lovingly challenge that? Is it self doubt? Is it overwhelm? Are you too busy, tired, or stretched out? Is it past hurt, past wounds? Are you a cynic when it comes to connection or community? What is getting in your way of showing up, and how can you lovingly challenge that within yourself? My final point this morning is about how showing up ultimately creates joy. That's what this show is all about. So that's where we're going to lean in to finish off. There is power and incredible joy in fulfilling the need that we have as human beings. This is something we all have in common: the need that we have to be seen, and the joy that comes from being able to hold space and truly see other people and be on the journey with them. When we show up as ourselves, when we are, Ali was saying about this in the comments, just the only thing we have to give is of ourselves, right? When we do that, we invite others to do the same. Our shared presence creates an incredible buzz and energy, laughter, breakthroughs, healing. It cures a lot of things: loneliness, some of those non-flexible expectations that we have for ourselves, that feeling that you're going through things alone. And something to think about in this realm of how showing up creates joy is to think about a time when you showed up even when it was hard, and that it turned out to be worth it. It's not to say that there haven't been times when I have showed up when it was hard and it was still hard after, right? But when you show up and it's hard, when did it turn out to be worth it? And I've shared this so many times on this show before that Project Joy has really been that for me. Yes, there have been times when I've had to cancel straight out. But there are times in between fully showing up and canceling that I've showed up not 100%. And by the end of the show, I feel so much better. Maybe not perfect, because that's not what we're looking for here. But this in itself, Project Joy Live, is its own little ecosystem, its own little community. We have myself as the host. We have incredible co-hosts. We have incredible people out in the audience. We continue to talk about joy. The joy from this show ripples out to other shows on the network, to events within our community. And it makes the challenging times that to show up just 100% worth it. We are closing out our 6th season this year of Project Joy Live. And this all came from a personal decision that I made at the end of 2019, where I said, I'm not going to do anything unless it brings me joy anymore. Nothing. I don't do anything unless it brings me joy. And so you say, well, does that mean that when you go pay your bills, or when you have to wash the dishes, or when you're upset at your husband or your kids or whatever, that those things bring you joy? I find some way to bring joy into every situation. That was my commitment at the end of 2019. And Project Joy Live was born from that moment, that personal decision. So showing up is not just an action that we take. Being all in is not just an action. It's not just a thing. It is a choice. And because it's a choice, it is a love language. And it's one that we all deserve to speak and receive. Okay. I want to go back to some of the comments really quickly. I'm sorry I missed you guys. I was on my notes. Yes, the bell has come out. Good morning and joyful morning to you, Trista. How do I feel when people show up fully suspicious? I love that. I mean, look, that ties into experiences that we've had in the past, right? Like sometimes it is hard to show up fully again because the last time someone did that, it didn't turn out well. So suspicious. I mean, that's valid. It's valid. I agree. The connection, energy vibrations, the connection energy shared is very powerful. And I have nothing to offer except your presence. And that is everything. Like we say that all the time. I have nothing except me, but that's everything. It's everything, right? I've been processing this a lot in my own way, Trista said. How I show up, how I connect, how I contribute, how I stand idle because I tell myself I have nothing to offer. I heard this recently. I'm going to try to keep this as anonymous as possible. I heard this recently in a community space that I run, and the person told me that they don't typically speak up because they don't feel like they have anything to offer. And I'm just sitting here like, well, this is rude because I wouldn't have chosen you to be a part of this space if I didn't believe that you have absolute amazingness to offer, right? And so sometimes we don't see, like, think about that for a minute. If you were, especially if you were invited to be part of a certain community, perhaps they invited you because they see something within you that you don't see in yourself. You know what I mean? So think about that for a minute too. It's not to say that's everyone's intentions, but when I invite somebody to community, it's because I can see them there and I feel like they're a fit in a certain kind of way. Swami lessons. I love it. Yes, I got up on my soapbox for a minute. Listen, Fitch Senior High School, Groton, Connecticut, class of 99. Get your ish together and schedule a reunion. Please. What is going on? Anyway. You gonna join me in the sob fest? Yes, I will. 8.3 billion people with our billions of cells. I'm ignoring that comment. I love you so much, my friend, too. It is a journey. It is that. Joyce, all new light. There it is. Sometimes it's easier for others to see our greatness than it is for us to see our own. This is true for me too. I just do what I do. I don't, I don't know how else. I just do what I do. And I think there's a lot of people like me who just, they get up in the morning and they do what they go about their day. It's very rare that I sit back and go, God, I'm doing something really amazing here. Like, this is life-changing. It's rare because I'm just doing what I do. And so until somebody steps in and goes, hey, hold on a minute. Do you know how amazing this is? Then I'm like, oh, I didn't, but that's cool. That's cool. So I hope this was helpful for you today. You don't need to be perfect to show up. You just need to be willing and show up, give of yourself, communicate. I cannot express this enough, being all in a community. Communicate. Talk to people. If you're feeling a certain kind of way, express it. If you have questions about things, ask the questions, communicate within these communities, because I think there's a misconception that because people are coming together in community and have things in common, that they then are are mind readers of everybody else in the community. Like you're in a community, so you must know all the things about each other. That's so not true. Communicate with each other. Showing up isn't just an action, it's a love language. All right. We're going to take one more quick break, and when we come back, we've got birthdays to do, but tonight is Craft Circle. Will you be there? Craft Circle happening tonight in the Breakthrough Show Network virtual community from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Come and join us. Just head over to the breakthroughshownetwork.club and we will be hanging out in the artist studio with Brittany Floyd. So we'll have that and it's going to be amazing. It's time to do birthdays, everybody. Let's go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. In the world of celebrity today. I have too much going on my phone right now. Okay. Actress Jodie Foster, one of my favorites, 63 years old today, everybody. Happy birthday, Jodie Foster. The incredible, one of the most amazing talk show hosts of our lifetime, Larry King, who passed away in 2021, had a birthday today. Happy heavenly birthday, Larry King. Also, designer Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein is a different person. Calvin Klein, 83 years old today. Believe that? 83 years old today. Allison Janney, actress. She's so funny. She has a lot of, what's the thing I remember her in with, somebody help me. What is the name of the movie where there's the beauty queens? Was it Drop Dead Gorgeous? Anyway, she's in that and she's so funny. She's 66 today. Meg Ryan, another amazing actress, 64 years old today. President Garfield, who passed away in 1881 here in the United States, had a birthday today. And a friend from back in school days, Gary Green, has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Gary. Not Miss Congeniality. And hi, Rich. Good to see you this morning. Not Miss Congeniality. They're really young. They're like, I'm trying to, I think it's Drop Dead Gorgeous. I really do. I'm going to get back with you on Friday. That's what I'm going to do because it's going to bother me. All right. All of those birthdays. Let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jodie Foster, Larry King, Calvin Klein, Allison Janney, Meg Ryan, President Garfield, and Gary Green. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. And in that short period of time, while I was dancing with the song, it is in fact Drop Dead Gorgeous. Kirsten Dunst, Kirstie Alley, Allison Janney, Brittany Murphy. So it's the most funny, ridiculous movie. Okay, so go check out that movie. Came out in 1999. There it is. There it is. Oh, puppies are singing. Yay. Love that. All right, you guys, here's the scoop on the network this week. The rest of the week, let me see what we're doing here. Hold on. We have Craft Circle tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. with Brittany. But before that, again, there's the QR code. The link is in the comments. Jamie Rich and I are hosting Know Before You Build, a real talk workshop on community and leadership this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So come and join us for that. It's in that the link in the down there and stuff. And there's the QR code. And then what else do we have going on? On Friday, I will be back, Project Joy Live, with my youngest, Leah Dugas, and we are going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And the kids got to meet Matthew Lillard, who's in Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, the last 90s con. And so we were talking about, what are we going to talk about? And she's like, I want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. So that's what we're doing Friday morning. It will be entertaining at the very least. Okay. And so I will be on with you guys Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We have co-working Friday as well. Soul Saturday morning coffee. I mentioned to you guys Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m., but I come on early at 8 o'clock for the Morning Vibes radio show. You can listen to that JS Dugas on Station Head, or come into our Soul Saturday Cafe, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I put the music on and all of that, and it's a fun time. And what else was I going to tell you? There was something else. Rich is in the audience, and Rich has an amazing radio show. Rich, do you want to tell the people where they can find you? Let me know if you tell the people where they can find you. I know he's on Blast Radio, and he has a Discord, and he's on Mixcloud, and I don't know if I have all the places, Rich, but he plays really amazing music and vinyl. So like you get that nice sound. He's committed to good sound. That's what I have to say. And so at any rate, that is what's going on this week. We're going to be back next week as well. Even though it is Thanksgiving week, we're going to come and be thankful together, and it'll be a good time. And I hope to see you here wherever you are. Come visit us at thebreakthroughshownetwork.com or .club for all of our shows, events, all of the goodness that happens. Okay. It'll be amazing. So all of that said, I'm Jessica Dugas, your host, and I will see you guys next time. And I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and absolutely every single day. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.